things have really heated up at the Capitol Center, Landover, Maryland, for Game 4 of the NBA Eastern Finals. Over 19,000 jam
the NBA on CBS. Today's playoff game is sponsored by all the new 1978 Chevrolets now at your Chevy dealers everywhere. The Continental Insurance Company. And by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
Over 19,000 jam the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland for this fourth game of the NBA's Eastern Finals. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Don Crickey with Gus Johnson and Keith Erickson, and this series has really heated up as the Washington Bullets, who came in as an underdog, have taken a 2-1 lead, and Gus, they're playing great basketball.
Yes, they are, Don. I don't believe that the Philly can continue to play as physical with the Bullets as they can because they match them so well down inside. They're going to have to use a lot more finesse than they're doing. George McGinnis is going to have to play better. Dr. J's got to come out of his bag.
Now, Keith, the 76ers were just great against the New York Knicks, but they've fallen apart here. As Bill Cunningham says, we've collapsed. What's happened?
Well, they really have. This is a very critical game for them. They cannot afford to lose this game and go back to Philadelphia having to win 3 games in a row. Dr. J had a poor game the other night. Everybody's entitled to one bad game, right, Gus?
Right on, that's for sure.
George McGinnis has got to get his game together. He's pressing. He's got to just get into the flow of the game.
All right, let's take a look now at the starting lineups for the Philadelphia 76ers and their head coach, Billy Cunningham. Up front, the great Julius Erving. Along with him, George McGinnis shooting 14 for 40 in the series. Caldwell Jones has played very well at center. He's about the only one so far. Henry Bibby and Doug Collins start in the back line. Dick Motta and his Chicago Bulls come in. His old Chicago Bull format, hard-hitting basketball, and he's got the Washington Bullets doing it now. As Motta's going with Bob Dandridge. He's been great in the series. So is Elvin Hayes. Mitch Kupchak starts at center for the overtured Wesley Unseld. And in the back line for the Washington Bullets, we have Kevin Grevey and Tom Henderson. Man goes down as the 76ers come out with the basketball. And here's the first whistle of the game as we have Jake O'Donnell and Jim Capers blowing the whistles. Nobody blowing them a lot, I think, Gus.
I think right here they kind of miss one. Bibby gives a good fake here, goes up, draws a big man in the air, and pulls a foul.
So Henry Bibby puts the first point of the game on the scoreboard. The Washington Bullets came into this series a decided underdog. Philadelphia as the odds maker's choice to sweep through because they played so brilliantly against the New York Knicks. But Washington has played great basketball. Now, the Bullets with Elvin Hayes on the outside. He and McGinnis have a running talk session going along with some bumping. They've really been after each other. Here's Elvin Hayes down low against McGinnis, and here's a whistle right away. Keith, they're going to blow that thing, I think, early and often.
Well, you bet they are. I spoke to Jake O'Donnell before the game today and asked him just about that in particular, the physical aspect of this game. He said he always calls a tight game. He's not going to let these guys get away with anything out there.
I think that the officials are going to have to call a tough game. Friday night it was so physical. The officials did an excellent job of keeping it under control because there were a number of fouls, and without the officials doing that, possibility fights.
Absolutely. They cannot afford to let this game get out of hand. They've got a lot of big guys out there playing.
You see Mitch Kupchak getting set to bring the ball in, and I think the Philadelphia bench is being warned for delay of game. Jack McMahon up and shouting out, Billy Cunningham up and up. And now the ball is brought in bounds. And here is Bob Dandridge against Julius Erving. Dandridge has played so very well defensively against Erving. And here is a travel violation called against Washington. And the basketball turns over to the Philadelphia 76ers. We're at the outset in the first period. Game 4, Eastern Finals. The 76ers in blue. And here's George McGinnis, Elvin Hayes playing off. He wants him to take that pop shot from the outside. Doesn't want him near the basket. Gives him the free shot. And again, McGinnis can't get it down. And here come the Bullets. Elvin Hayes going down low, puts McGinnis in the air with a
stroking it very well. He knows that he's got George upset. He has to raise the man in the air. He's going to take advantage of it all afternoon.
Now Elvin Hayes throws a forearm into Doug Collins and the whistle blows, stopping play. We have 11 minutes and a second to play in the first period. And as George McGinnis said, Keith, at the outset of the game, he said, this is a war and it's going to heat up.
You bet it is. And Gus, as you were saying before the game, the officials sometimes catch the second play. Doug Collins came down and ran into Elvin Hayes that time. Hayes gave it back to him, and they caught the second one, just like you said.
He sure did.
Caldwell Jones gets the bank, goes down low to Henry Bibby. Rejected by Elvin Hayes. McGinnis going back up and gets it down over Elvin Hayes. And so the 76ers take a 4-2 lead at the outset of the game as Henderson pushes the ball up for Washington. Moving on, Doug Collins trying to run him into a pick. Down low off the baseline is Bob Dandridge. Julius Erving against him, and here's another whistle.
Julius cannot afford to let him bring it back in. Here's the ball here. Bibby gives an excellent fake. Hayes waits on him, rejects his shot. McGinnis gets it, goes back in and scores.
That's a good sign this early in the game to see George McGinnis get a hoop right off the bat.
Offensive board.
Very important.
Elvin Hayes fires a shot up, and Caldwell Jones again has excellent position to take the defensive board and gives it off to Henry Bibby. 76ers having trouble penetrating in this series. Doug Collins does it on that play. McGinnis fires his way back up, can't get the shot down. Kupchak does, outlet goes to Henderson. The lead goes down to Kevin Grevey, who's taking 25 aspirin a day to try to alleviate a muscle pull that's very painful, but he's averaged over 18 points a game in the series.
Played very well Friday, shooting the ball very well, and helps out greatly on the defense.
Elvin Hayes fighting for the ball, puts it back up. Rebound knocked around, and again it's Caldwell Jones, and at 7 feet, he brings it down the floor and goes the distance.
Well, that's really a breakdown on defense. You cannot let a 7-foot 2-inch man come all the way down the floor and go in and slam dunk on you.
They didn't even close the lane up.
How many guys 7'2" can dribble it down the floor? Elvin Hayes drives to the basket and lays the ball in. It's a 6-4 game, Washington. Gus?
Very powerful move by Big E there. He's strong. He went to the hoop, controlled the ball excellently, and got it in.
Now the Sixers fire again. It's Aaron from the outside. That's been the story of their game from the outside in this series. Poor percentage shooting as Henderson takes it down low for Washington. Rebound to Caldwell Jones for a fourth time off the defensive board, and McGinnis loses it to Grevey. 3-on-1. Lead to Henderson. Back to Grevey. Basket Washington.
That's basketball. That's very beautiful basketball. Give and go, hit the open man.
And on the other hand, George McGinnis should have given the ball up. You don't want your big man bringing the ball down the floor like that.
The Bullets on defense have been sagging. You watch, they will let Philadelphia shoot from the outside. Erving gets a shot. He can't hit it. Elvin Hayes takes the rebound. They're getting their big people down by the defensive board. They're letting Philadelphia take the outside shot until the 76ers start to make it. Kupchak crashing down the baseline of the floor, puts another one in, and Washington takes the lead.
This game is so intense. Right now it's a competition between Elvin Hayes and Caldwell. Here's Kupchak going baseline, reverse, puts the ball in.
Now Doug Collins will inbound the ball. All the Philadelphia All-Stars have had trouble shooting. In the last game, Erving was 4 for 14. Collins was 5 for 15. Lloyd Free was 3 for 15. McGinnis couldn't hit. Their percentages have been off. They have not played the team game that they swept the Knicks with. And now McGinnis tries to come inside. Elvin Hayes arm checks him, and Jim Capers blows the whistle.
Jim Capers, like we said at the beginning of this game, they're going to have to watch the contact, and especially against Hayes and McGinnis.
And George has to do that. He has to bring Elvin outside and put the ball on the floor in order to beat him.
Yes, he does. Offensive foul on the play. A little over-aggressive on the pick.
Elvin Hayes had 3 personal fouls early in the first period of the game 3. There's Dick Mata in his second year with the Bullets after his successful run at the Chicago Bulls, and he's got the Bullets playing that kind of basketball again now. They're really a rough, tough team.
Yeah, they are very physical. Here's Kupchak making a very strong move, goes in, gives a fake, gets Caldwell Jones up in the air, gets a shot. I think he should have concentrated a little more and made the three-point play.
Mitch Kupchak, the second-year center from North Carolina, starting for Wesley Unseld, who is out of this game. He was injured, you'll recall, last Sunday in the overtime victory Washington scored at Philadelphia. He's not been back since. He warmed up Friday night before Game 3, but couldn't go. It's 10-6, Washington, first period. 8:06 to play in it. Don Quickie with Gus Johnson and Keith Erickson at the Capitol Center, Landover, Maryland. Collins can't get it to go. Elvin Hayes takes it down, kicks it out to Henderson. Lead goes to Kupchak, and Bibby slaps the ball away. And Doug Collins leaps into the crowd trying to get the basketball.
Well, I'd like to say hello, and I hope that Doug Collins' father is feeling much better down in St. Louis. He came over and mentioned that to us. Maybe you want to say something about that.
That's right. His dad went in the hospital, and Doug wanted to be sure to extend his very best from all the 76ers. Doug, a little banged up, but you got to hit him with a club to knock him out of the game. He plays hard. The Bullets have scored 8 straight points here in the first period to take a 10-6 lead. Collins, a first-team All-Star.
Here he goes. He's pursuing the ball here.
It's a little slow pursuit, isn't it?
Right, Sandy. He's in pursuit of the basketball. He had no choice but to go over, trying to save the ball, makes a tremendous leap, and hits the floor.
El Domenico sprang on a little of that hurt no more. Hurt, not for a little while anyway. Ethyl chloride, it freezes the bruise. We got 7:50 to go in the first period. Kupchak inbounds the ball to Elvin Hayes, moving in on McGinnis. Oh, the Big E's knocked down 3 shots on McGinnis.
You just cannot let Elvin come down and post you that low. You know that that's what he wants to do. He wants to turn his back to the hoop and shoot his jumper.
Now Julius Erving shoots it on the way down. A fight for the ball, and McGinnis gets it and puts it up softly with the left hand. Elvin Hayes and McGinnis are jawing, backing up and down the floor. Hayes has been saying to McGinnis, baby, they're going to trade you when this one's over. You're blowing it again. And then they start with the forearms, and it gets a little ugly.
But George is a much better professional than him. I don't think he should let that upset him at all. He should play his game.
Here comes Collins driving on Dandridge. Feeds off inside to George McGinnis, who gets the roll. And now the 76ers with a couple of quick buckets come back to within 2. It's 12-10. McGinnis is 3 for 5 shooting, Keith.
This is smart play by George McGinnis. Instead of trying to force his game and try and cause things to happen out there, he's going the offensive boards, has 3 offensive rebounds already for baskets.
And that's his best game, is offensive boards.
Caldwell Jones outset to Julius Erving. Henderson knocked the ball away. Bibby picked it up, and McGinnis gets another one, and he's fouled on the drive.
Very nice pass here. Goes in, gives it off. Collins lays it off to McGinnis. McGinnis goes in, strong to the hoop for 2.
That was the previous basket. We'll be back in a moment with the game tied. That CBS Sports Spectacular fight next Saturday will be a good one. Howard Davis with those quick hands that got him a gold medal at Montreal, and Stanton can take you out. 22-year-old hitter. There's George McGinnis at the free throw line. He's been delivering some offense for the 76ers here in the first period, as they've come back to tie the game. And now Philadelphia, after Washington scored 10 in a row, has now scored 7 in a row.
George McGinnis has, I think, 9 of those points up there, those 12 points they have up there, after the Bullets scored 10 straight points.
And I think here, Keith and Gus, Philadelphia is going into a similar defense. They're doing a lot of sagging now. This time, Caldwell Jones comes out, and Kupchak gets a free shot. Everybody's pulling back. They want to shut off the lane, stop the penetration as Washington comes back to take the lead.
Well, they are playing very intense. They're playing good defense. They're forcing Philadelphia way out on the floor where they cannot penetrate.
Julius Erving summed it up after Game 3. He said they're playing the team stuff, and we're playing the one-on-one streak. That's been the difference. Here comes Dandridge at 6'7", leading the break. On the right flank, he has Kupchak. Dandridge fades off and puts it up. A poor percentage shot, and the rebound is off to the 76ers. Lead goes down to Caldwell Jones. Too much on it.
Just a little too much by Henry Bibby. Caldwell Jones was out there. I think if Henry would have made the pass 1 second sooner, he would have had a layup on the play.
So far, Caldwell's had the play of the game. You recall when he ripped off that defensive board, took it down at 7-2, the length of the floor on the dribble, and then hammered it down on a dunk.
He's been very excellent for them. I think perhaps he and Steve Mitch are unsung heroes. He never gets the recognition because he's got George McGinnis out there, and he's got Dr. J and Doug Collins and all that talent around him, but he is a super 7-foot center right now.
One of the best defensive centers in the league. Great shot blocker.
Kupchak lost the ball, so it turns over to the 76ers. Slap back out to George McGinnis. Kupchak picking up. Lots of nice switching in the Washington defense, and here's a whistle that stops play. It's going to be a foul call against the Bullets.
George comes across, puts the ball on the floor. Mitch is already in bad position because he's got him backing up. Right here's the contact established. George goes to the line.
Three-team fouls on the Sixers, and as we see now at McGinnis at the free throw line, the Bullets are in the penalty. So for the rest of this period, the 76ers will be shooting the penalty with 5:23 to play. That can be a big factor. 71 personal fouls were called in Game 3 here on Friday night. Elvin Hayes had 3 almost as soon as the game started. George McGinnis had 1 when the game was 2 seconds old. Now we have a 15-14 score on the board. Philadelphia's in the lead as Henderson looks against a tough defense put against him by Collins. Down low he goes to Elvin Hayes. Philadelphia doubling up nicely on the ball. And they throw the ball. Look at Julius Erving. Watch this. The doctor sweeps in and glides to give Philadelphia a 3-point lead.
He's amazing. He's got the quickness of a guard. He's got the leaping mobility of a center. And he knows what to do with that ball when he's going to that offensive hoop.
The doctor does all things on the floor, and he has to have the big game. Philadelphia's really doubling and tripling up on the ball, and they're forcing Washington into some errant shots now as Grevey can't hit, and Philadelphia's quick to run. Here comes McGinnis, feeding off. It's taken away by Henderson. He was trying to go to Caldwell Jones. Henderson with those quick hands picked off the ball. Grevey takes it down. Tough shot. Caldwell Jones had to back off. It would have been the goaltend. Here comes Bibby on the left flank as Collins driving on Henderson, but Collins takes it through for the score.
They're not getting back on defense at all right now, and that's hurting them. They're only getting one shot, and they're getting tough shots. They're not getting the shots that they need to get.
Dick Matta and Bernie Bickerstaff look on as Bob Dandridge rifles down a line drive jump shot over Julius Erving.
He's a man that they can go to in tough situations. He likes mismatches, and he does it well.
Erving fires a shot. Hayes, so very strong, 6'9", 235 pounds. Rebounding, lead to Dandridge from Henderson. McGinnis hit the deck, no foul. And Caldwell Jones goes backcourt again, dribbling the ball up the floor. And we might have a technical foul. We have a warning, apparently. They're looking at the Philadelphia bench. Jake O'Donnell's been over there having a conversation.
I don't know what's going on over there. I think they're kind of upset about something.
They're upset about a whole lot of things, being down 2-1.
For sure.
Caldwell Jones already has 6 rebounds. Loop pass to Julius Erving, loops it back out to Caldwell Jones, and here's the doctor from 20. Jones with another rebound. He's not blocked out. Rebound to Hayes. He's got a ton of rebounds in the first period. They fill the lanes, and Henderson takes it through. He's blocked by Jones. Let's see if they call a goaltend.
Very good move. Very strong move by Henderson here. This is the way you beat a big man. You take the ball right to him. If you let him attack you, you can't win. You've got to take it to him.
Caldwell Jones expressing his unhappiness with that call. It looked like, I think Caldwell Jones made a nice block on the play myself.
It was a good block.
Now both coaches are going to their benches in that chess game. Into the game for the Philadelphia 76ers comes Steve Mix. The bomb squad's coming in. Lloyd Freak comes in. Here comes Darryl Dawkins. And in for the 76ers, rookie Greg Ballard on the floor. Joe Pace, who's getting some playoff time, didn't do much in the regular season.
Steve Mix perhaps is one of the most consistent players on the 76ers bench. Also, the Bullets bench has been outstanding. Greg Ballard has come in and did a super job for him. As you mentioned, Joe Pace, who hasn't played much during the regular season, is in the game playing. He played a very fine game Friday, plugging up the middle and blocking shots.
Elvin Hayes still in there. One thing about Elvin Hayes, in the years that you matched up when he was with Houston, he plays a lot of minutes.
He plays a lot of time out there. And we might mention also Joe Pace playing now, and that's because Wes Unseld did sprain his ankle the other night, and we just received word that he definitely will not play in the game this afternoon.
McGinnis steals the ball on the outlet, takes it right in. Tried to slam dunk it, and Ballard, a big, strong rookie, hammered him, stopped the slam dunk, but George McGinnis will now get 3 chances to make 2 free throws as Larry Wright, backcourt player from Grambling, comes on the floor. He brings speed to the game for Washington.
I think George really wanted that basket. He has to do that in order for him to be effective. I hate to keep saying that. He's not hitting the outside jumpers. As a matter of fact, not that many of the 76ers are.
McGinnis is having his biggest game of the series. He now has 12 first-period points as the 76ers hold to a 20-18 lead.
He's playing a little bit like George McGinnis has to play. He can't let Elvin Hayes or the Bullets or the pressure of the media affect his basketball game. He's got a job to do.
He is definitely not being intimidated out there by any pressure at all. And it's great to see this matchup the way it's working out. Elvin Hayes and George McGinnis, a beautiful matchup inside.
I tell you, they're a game in itself. That matchup, that's Elvin Hayes down low against McGinnis. They clear aside, and Elvin Hayes puts it up. Foul on the play. Shooting foul for the Big E.
George is kind of hollering at that, but he really got the guy on the arm this time.
Yeah, he got it.
Hayes is posted down low. This is George's biggest mistake. You cannot let him come and set down in that low. Hayes turns around, gives a fake, goes up with a shot, and gets fouled on the arm right there by McGinnis.
Elvin Hayes, the College Player of the Year, the season that his Houston team defeated UCLA and the then Lou Alcindor and went on to win the national championship. And now the big gun in this series for the Washington Bullets at the free throw line. He'll get 2 more chances as he's fouled in the act of shooting.
Right now in the confrontation between he and George McGinnis, Elvin is winning the battle and George is winning the war. McGinnis has something like 13 points and 1 rebound. Elvin has 6 points and a total of 5 rebounds.
Elvin just got the hat trick going, 0 for 3. Now George McGinnis is talking to Elvin Hayes as he comes back up the floor, bringing it to his attention that he noticed him miss 3 free throws, and Elvin's got something to say back to George, but the auspices of the commissioner's office has both men far away from throwing anything at each other.
You bet they do. I mentioned to the officials before the game, and evidently what's standard before the playoffs start, the commissioner comes out with a letter to all the playoff teams mentioning that they don't want any fisticuffs, anything that resembles it going on in these playoffs. Well, as you see George McGinnis looking on, they will be fined heavily if they get involved in anything like that.
Darryl Dawkins was fouled. He went to the free throw line, missed it, and Larry Wright really guns the ball up the court for Washington. Down low to Joe Pace as men cut off him. He's not looking to shoot the ball. He's looking to pass it down low as Darryl Dawkins is against him. Here's Grevey working off the pick. Grevey digging inside, and he's called for a travel.
Very good position defense there because he had no place to go. The lane was cut off and he had nothing to do but travel with him. Nobody to pass to.
Before those missed free throws by Elvin Hayes and the one by Darryl Dawkins, both teams were perfect from the free throw line. Philadelphia was 7 for 7 and Washington 4 for 4. Here is Mitch firing up a jump shot. Elvin Hayes takes down the defensive board. Didn't have to leave the floor. And Larry Wright, the second year from Grambling, pumps into the lane and fires off the run. And George McGinnis takes down the ball and clears people out with a couple of big precision elbows. Lloyd Free goes to McGinnis. Bad shot. Rebound comes down to Nix. He works hard all the time and gets the ball back out to Lloyd Free, and the 76ers start again.
Well, that was one thing that Washington is not doing very well is keeping these 76ers off of the boards, the offensive boards. They've gotten entirely too many offensive rebounds. That's how George McGinnis got his game going in the beginning of the game.
Very good point, Keith. He has been crashing the offensive board very well. And as you mentioned, the Bullets are not blocking out. The 76ers are getting second and third shots.
Coach Mata up and protesting as he is wont to do from time to time.
He's been known to do that. He received a technical foul just now.
So he'll have to subdue his act the rest of the way or be banished.
This game is somewhat of like a chess game. It's trying to figure out who's going to psych who out first.
It isn't always how loud you yell at the official that gets you the technicals. Usually the choice of words.
Right on.
He's not backing off over there now. Mata is still up and screaming at the official. He is really going to have to watch himself.
Bernie Bickerstaff is trying to settle him down. As Prince of Midair is at the free throw line. Lloyd Free. And now we have a 24-18 score on the board. The Philadelphia 76ers with their biggest lead of the first period, 1:38 to play in it. And now Jake O'Donnell catches somebody firing an elbow.
Very good call by Jake O'Donnell. There was a pick set on the top of the line out here by Greg Ballard, and Lloyd Free ran into the pick. He didn't see the official, he didn't see Greg, and he threw an elbow at him, and Jake O'Donnell was right on top of it.
So at the free throw line is Greg Ballard, a #1 draft choice.
He's been playing very fine basketball for the Bullets of late, too.
He is from Oregon, was the 4th pick in the entire draft. Last NBA draft. 6'7", 225 pounds. He makes it a 24-20 game. Philadelphia by 4. As now Larry Wright pressures the ball and is picked up by McGinnis. Lloyd Free tries to draw a foul, cannot. Philadelphia stacking people across the lane now. Nobody's down low as Dawkins comes out high. Lloyd free one-on-one against Larry Wright. He's so fast, so hard to drive around. Fires it out to McGinnis. He's looking to put the ball up. Gets it off to Mix, and he knocks it down. What do we have here?
The shot went in. Collins grabbed the ball and shot it back in again. And I think normally they give you a warning, but they give him a technical foul on this. Can we see that, Sandy? Here's a shot out of the corner by Mix. It goes through the hoop. Collins grabs it, tips it back in. Normally the officials will give you a warning on a play like that, but right away they call it technical. They're trying to keep things under control.
Well, that really shows you the intensity what these players are playing out here. You know, a guy going for an offensive rebound, he just got it up instinctively, put it back in again.
Right in.
Well, I tell you, you start to rehash the game when it's all over. If it's a one-point game, sometimes those technicals were the difference, even if they were in the first period.
You better believe it. They are really big factors in games like this.
Plus the ball comes back inbounds to Washington as the Bullets now trail by 5, 26-21. We have a minute and 8 seconds to play in the first period. Larry Wright gets the ball out to Ballard. Philadelphia has tightened up considerably now in the first period over game 3. And these officials are right on it. Another whistle. Ball's back to Philly.
They are. They're doing a very super job. I don't know if Normie Druckner had anything to do with it or talked to him or something, but they are playing or calling a very good game.
Offensive foul is signaled against the Washington Bullets on Joe Pace. Collins fires cross court to McGinnis, feeds off to the doctor. The doctor a dunk, Darryl Dawkins, but he can't get it. Here comes Washington Bullets as Joe Pace goes down hard, and McGinnis goes down hard. It was McGinnis who drew a charge, a foul on Pace.
What a couple of plays that was. Beautiful block down here by Elvin Hayes on Darryl Dawkins going to the basket.
He timed it perfectly. George McGinnis comes in, lays the ball off to Dawkins. Dawkins stretches out. The big E is right there timing. He held on to the side of the pole there.
Elvin did.
Yes.
There he is, the man with the black belt and the slam dunk. Darryl Dawkins hammers it down. It's 28-21.
Don't get in my way twice, Mr. Dawkins says.
So Philadelphia now opens up its biggest lead, a 7-point advantage, 28-21 as we wind down the first period. It's down to 17 seconds. As you see, that's the game clock ticking off.
It's down to 8 now on the shot clock. They've got to get it up here.
Grevey can fire. Right there. The Kentucky All-American drills it. As time is just about out, McGinnis will throw one up into Collins. They did not get the shot away. And so the first period comes to an end, and they put a ball game of activity into it. As the Philadelphia 76ers took a lead, lost it, and then as we come down to start the second period, they have a 5-point lead. The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Basketball Association, and everyone at CBS is delighted at the new 4-year association CBS will have with the NBA through the 81-82 season, as we right now go into the second period of Game 4 of this NBA Eastern Final Series, and the folks are getting after it.
Yes, they are. You can hardly hear here. It's so intense. The fans are just tremendous. They're behind the Bullets again, and I love to see that.
McGinnis was the guy in the first period. Hit 4 of 8 field goal attempts, 5 of 5 free throws, 13 points. He had 4 rebounds. As the 76ers open with a 5-point lead, Washington with the ball. Dandridge down low. Philadelphia heated again, doing a good job doubling up on the ball. Dandridge loses Erving with a fake, but the shot is disallowed.
Must have been traveling on the play. Bob Dandridge in trying to move Julius Erving back in and get position on him. Took a little bunny hop.
That's the field goal percentages. Not too good, but you find that often in a very intense game. Nobody's giving you a free shot in this one. Here comes Julius Erving trying to move on Dandridge, and Dandridge defenses and takes the ball away. Lead goes to Charlie Johnson. And CJ arcs it off the glass. He's tough.
Here's the play again. Watch the hands of Bob Dandridge picking that ball off as Julius Erving went up for the shot, and a tremendous outlet pass and a great shot by Charlie Johnson over Lloyd Freed jumping for that ball.
He has been doing that all playoff game against Dr. J, catching the ball on the way up before he gets at his peak of his jump.
Dandridge playing good position defense on him. Charlie Johnson coming in here really firing this team up. Just taking the ball out of bounds with a lot of intensity.
Offensive foul on Darryl Dawkins turns it back over to the Washington Bullets. Johnson fires again, can't get it down. Johnson brings a very positive dimension to Washington. You recall he was a starting backcourt player for the Golden State Warriors, and they beat these Washington Bullets 4 straight. 74 for the NBA championship. And he has a lot of cool under pressure, but now the ball is back over to the Washington Bullets as Henry Bibby. Called for a loose ball foul. That's his second foul. First team foul of the period against the Philadelphia 76ers. It is a 28-25 game. Philadelphia's led by as many as 7. They led by 5 at the end of the first period as Larry Wright takes it baseline. Rejected by Darryl Dawkins. Score the goal.
Darryl Dawkins went way up in the air to block that shot.
This game is of tremendous importance. You can't emphasize it enough. People here in Washington say it's the most important game in the franchise history because they're pretty much would have a lock on the series. Philadelphia have to win 3 straight if Washington wins here today on the home floor. As Dawkins hits for Philadelphia. Conversely, the 76ers have to get that championship form back. They're the favorite to win this year now with Portland out. The team that beat them last year. The 76ers motto this season, as every Philadelphia fan knows, has been "We owe you one." They felt they should have won it last year, and this is the year. But now they're down 2 games to 1 to the Washington Bullets, and here comes Lloyd free for Philadelphia. Feeds to Mix, almost lost it. Dawkins, center, shouldn't be shooting from out there, but I guess it's all right if you can do that.
Well, you better believe it. But isn't that a beautiful sight? A 6'11", 260-pound man with a touch like a feather.
And runs like a gazelle.
Yes, he does.
And don't get in his way. Charlie Johnson takes it from Erving, goes to Dandridge. Boy, these guys can play. 32-29, Philadelphia.
Again, Philadelphia getting hurt with their big men handling the ball on the break. Julius Erving that time. George has lost it a couple of times. They've got to look and give that ball up to the little man. Let him start that fast break. Run it the way it should be run.
And Bobby D loves those mix matches. When he gets a guy inside that's smaller than him, he will take full advantage of that.
Yes, he does. He takes advantage of that as well as anyone. Here's Erving bringing the ball out. You see Charlie Johnson coming over. Dandridge on the double team. I watch Bob Dandridge as he gets the ball down low. Henry Bibby on him. Beautiful under control jump shot. Excellent.
All the good ones, or most of them, are expected at Colonial in Fort Worth for that tournament next week on CBS. The Colonial National, as we have 9:05 to play in the first half here at Landover, Maryland. Don Quickie with Keith Erickson and Gus Johnson. Larry Wright fires the ball for Washington. Rebound to 6-foot Charlie Johnson.
What's Charlie Johnson doing in there with all those great big guys?
In the first place, but you know something, Keith, like you mentioned earlier, Charlie Johnson and Bobby Dandridge, they've been here before. They've got that experience, and they are helping the Bullets quite a bit. They're keeping things under control.
Now Julius Erving pulls up for a textbook jumper, and that makes it 34-31, a 3-point game. Philadelphia Ballard working inside, had to work hard to get it around Dawkins, did not. Erving had an outlet man wide open in Steve Mix, but couldn't release the ball. He was hacked. Dr. J is 2 of 6 shooting in this game so far.
Dr. J has been doing what he should be doing, and that's giving the ball up. If he doesn't feel that his jump shot is going down, then give it up. Go to the boards like Big George was doing at the beginning of the game. Let the other parts of his games pay off.
That's very good analyst right there. He is doing those things right now, and what he has to do is try and apply a little more pressure on his defensive game, and perhaps his whole game will come into place.
Nice to have Julius Erving out there when you're going in a big one, wasn't it?
Can't think anybody else I'd rather have.
Good or bad what he's playing.
36-31 as again Washington extends its lead to 5. They've led by as many, or Philadelphia extends its lead to 5. The 76ers have led by as many as 7, led by 5 at the end of the first period. Dandridge shoots. Rebound is tipped out by Mix, and he saves the ball. Here comes Henry Bibby. Up court to Lloyd Free, and back to Julius Erving as Dawkins sets a pick, and he sets a big one. Thank you so very much, says the doctor.
Yes, indeed. That's a good sign for Philadelphia fans to see the doctor start hitting that outside jump shot. It opens every other part of his game up, brings a defensive man out on him.
That's right.
Gives him the opportunity to drive the ball.
And when the defense comes out, the doctor can go by like a darter. Here comes Lloyd Free on the run, and Larry Wright takes all away. Oh, this guy's so fast. Elvin Hayes, who's not been heard of for a while, all of a sudden makes his presence felt, brings the Bullets back to within 5, and Philadelphia wants a timeout.
On that steal, that last play, I hope we can pick it up on the side, but we can't see it here. Here's Elvin taking the ball in, but Billy Cunningham jumped higher than I've seen him jump since he was playing basketball.
Sure did.
There's a lot more playoff action coming up today following this matchup of the 76ers and the Bullets. Brent Musburger and Rick Barry are standing by in Denver for Game 2 of the Western Finals between the Denver Nuggets and the Seattle Supersonics. Julius Erving starting to go to his game now. Julius against the world. He can beat it when he's hot. He's got the Philadelphia 76ers up by 7.
Well, a lot of credit was given to Bob Dandridge the other night on the tremendous defensive job he did on the Doctor. But he acknowledged the fact when a superstar is going well, nobody can do anything. And the Doctor is going well now.
And his defense forced Charlie Johnson into an errant shot. And the ball comes back into the 76ers.
There's that play again. The shot from the outside. You saw the Doctor jumping up to try and block that shot. The ball going hands and looked like it hit Elvin last.
Philadelphia has now scored the last 8 points as the 76ers lead by 7. We're in the second period, 6:50 to play in it. Dawkins gets the rebound. Here's a whistle.
And you said 8 points were scored by Philadelphia, and all 8 were scored by the Doctor. Here's that play again. Julius Erving, when he feels it, he's going to go with it. Through his legs, got Bob Dandridge up in the air. That shot was just off a little bit, and you saw Darryl just knock Mitch Kupchak to the floor.
So we have 3 team fouls on the Sixers in the second period, 1 on Washington. Down low they go to Larry Wright. He pulls up. Washington taking some awfully long shots. Here comes Dr. J. 2-on-1. Lead to Mix. Back to Julius.
10 points in a row for the Doctor. Beautiful fast break by Steve Mix and Julius Erving, passing that ball, looking for each other.
And now Dick Motta's going to his bench, and Kevin Grevey's getting set to come back in. We've not seen Wes Unseld even on the bench. He warmed up Friday night. We're told he's in the locker room. Another whistle stops play as Philadelphia has opened up a 9-point lead here in the second period. Keith?
Okay, beautiful play. Dr. J, he's so talented. He stole that ball with his feet that time. He came up with it between both feet.
He sure did. Jake O'Donnell was right on top of it, though, because he saw him grab it with his feet and gave it to the Bullets.
10 straight points for the Doctor now for Philadelphia.
Hey, that's a tough guy to beat. We can do it with his feet, huh? Grevey fires coming off the bench. Kupchak hustles, saves the ball, and bounds to Johnson. Johnson fires again. Very poor shooting percentages for Washington. They're getting the shots, and now Dandridge makes sure of it.
4 offensive rebounds that time, Gus. You just can't give the guys 4 times. They're going to put it in.
No way, Keith, especially these guys out here. They're going to hang in that basket, and they're going to scrap like mad to put it in. They know how important this game is.
Henry Bibby loops it down to Steve Mix. Elvin Hayes against him as Mix waits for the play to develop, goes cross-court to Lloyd Free. He's liable to bomb. Got it down just before the 24-second clock sounded.
One-on-one, Lloyd Free has to be all-world.
He can get hot, too.
Yes.
He can go sour also, but when he gets hot, he can tear it open. Dawkins, head up by the rim, comes down with the defensive board and gives off to Lloyd Free. And the Prince of Midair is ready to fire at any moment. Henry Bibby takes one. Those UCLA guys got to get some, Keith.
Well, they better start getting some. You know, these guys are such tremendous shooters from the outside. I'm not sure that I understand Washington's defense just falling back and giving them the outside shot. You've got to have a hand up on these guys and in his face, or they're going to drop it every time.
Hayes gets free, baseline, lays it in, draws a foul.
Look at the position that Elvin Hayes gets down here on Steve Mix. There's the pass over the side. Mix was trying to front him a little bit on the side. We just can't give that position to a big guy like Elvin Hayes. Going to take it right to the basket. Dick Motta showing how happy he was on that last play. Not a smile yet.
Lloyd Free got his 3rd personal foul, and now it is a 46-37 game. The 76ers with a 9-point lead. George McGinnis, the leading point producer, with that distinct style on his jump shot. He just grabs the ball and kind of harks it back up when he starts down in his jump.
George played very well in the first quarter, and he's come out right back into the game. He hit a big jumper, so maybe he's got his whole game together now.
And the bullets are going to Elvin Hayes. He's giving it to them. He now has 12 points. McGinnis has 15.
Very good move by Biggie in there. He's doing a lot of scoring on the inside. He's rolling off and getting the man in back of him.
Darryl Dawkins goes out to Henry Bibby. McGinnis and Erving are at the free throw line. They were setting a double stack. Rebound comes out to Kupchak. Here comes Kevin Grevey. Grevey drives inside, fires off the run. You've got to be a good basketball player to do that.
That wasn't a very pretty shot. Here it is again. Look at Elvin Hayes. Look at the position he has on George McGinnis down there. No way George can let Elvin get that inside position in the lane like that.
Plus, George is too far up underneath the hoop. If he could have blocked the shot, he would have had to break his fingers through the rim.
Up in Boston, they call that shot by Grevey a runner. No basket. No basket. George McGinnis is called for the personal foul. Just for travel violation. Turns the ball over, and it's 48-41. Philadelphia now has 8 turnovers. Washington 9. The Big E is tearing him up.
Watch Elvin Hayes as he turns around. George smacks him right on the arm, in the face it looked like. How did Elvin Hayes ever make that shot?
I'll tell you, this man is so used to shooting that shot, Keith. You know that there's certain professionals that have a spot that they have to be on the floor to be effective. If you can take it away from them, fine. If you can't, they might beat you.
It's automatic like that. Really, Elvin doesn't even have to know where the basket is.
Never does he know.
He can feel it out there. He was in his right spot, put that ball in under tremendous pressure.
The Sixers are in the penalty, so Elvin will get another chance at it. Doug Collins is called for the foul. Washington only has 1 team foul here in the second period with 3:10 to play.
You know, Gus, it looks to me like Elvin's not shooting his free throw with the fluidity that he ordinarily does. You think he could be a little bit tight at the free throw line?
He possibly could be, Keith, but if you check his stance, his feet are a lot wider than he normally shoots his free throws. They mentioned this the other night that he was having some problem with it.
It really looks like it. Looks like he's tight when he lets that ball go at the free throw line.
Elvin Hayes now has 15 points, as does his counterpart and arch-rival George McGinnis. Both with 15, and the Bullets have now come back to within 4. Running off 5 straight points, they trail 48-44. At halftime, you'll see downtown Freddie Brown shooting it out with Wilbur Holland in the horse competition, and you also hear from our friend Jimmy the Greek, who has some interesting things to say about the National Football League draft, about a possible franchise shift in the NBA. 48-44.
Tremendous battle we've got going here between Elvin Hayes and George McGinnis. They each have 15 points. Elvin's got 6 rebounds. Big George has 5. That's about as close as you can get.
Can't get much closer than that, Keith.
Hayes has now hit his last 4 field goals. He's 7-11 for the game, but he's not shooting well from the free throw line. He's 1 for 6. But he's playing a big game for Washington. He gets the rebound, gives it off to Charlie Johnson. Into the corner to Grevey, back down low to Elvin Hayes.
I'll tell you, Elvin's taking advantage of the way they're playing the offense, the defense with him, because they're pulling apart and he's rolling one-on-one. He's going to steal it.
The ball. And the land over Maryland is shaking. It is quaking. 6 in a row now for Elvin Hayes. 9 of 13 for the game. And the ball game is tied as the crowd is standing and yelling. Mata is up, waving his fists out, exhorting his team. And the 76ers are perplexed. Out to Henry Bibby. Johnson tips the ball away, but's called for a foul.
I'll tell you, there's some tremendous play going on out here right now. Here we've got Elvin Hayes coming down. Watch Elvin cut through the basket. Not even really cutting through like he expected to get the ball, but the defense was so poor, he just had an automatic 2 points inside.
It's like they were putting on a clinic out there.
Absolutely.
He now has 19 points. Elvin Hayes with 19. Julius Erving fires. Elvin Hayes almost fouled. Coming up with a rebound as Doug Collins. Hayes takes it back. And here come the Washington Bullets. Look at the lead that Dandridge want to play. What a brilliant play. Superb play.
I can't believe it. I just can't believe this game is so exciting.
Charlie Johnson gunning the ball 40 feet like a baseball fastball, and here comes Johnson again. Washington has taken the lead, and Johnson drives inside. And the Washington Bullets are absolutely tearing it up. I mean, they are tearing it up. Down by 9, they're up by 4. I don't know if you can hear us because we can't.
Well, you just saw that drummer down there beating that drum. I tell you, I feel like I'm sitting right on top of that drum. Gus Johnson's beating on me like crazy. This is one exciting game.
Yes, it is. I love it.
Johnson took it down the floor and zinged it into Dandridge, and all of a sudden, the Washington Bullets go up 52-48 after not that long ago. You'll recall they were down by 9. We have 1:10 to play in the first period. We were talking before about how important this game is considered for the franchise because Washington fans were very discouraged when this team went to the NBA Finals against the Golden State Warriors a few years ago and lost in 4 games, and all of a sudden people who follow this team closely say they can see a resurgence in confidence of Washington fans. They've been selling out again. Over 19,000 here today, over 19,000 here Friday night, and they are all up and cheering the Bullets.
Well, if the response that the fans are giving and showing their appreciation right now is any indication, these fans are back to stay, and this Washington Bullet team is a definite contender for the world title.
I would say right now on paper, the Bullets probably are playing the best basketball that they have ever played here. They don't have Phil Chenier. They had a number of injuries earlier in the year. Right now, if they had Chenier or some more scoring from out front, I think they would be world contenders right now. I would say that they probably would go all the way.
The Bullets in a 3-minute period, our statistician Marty Aronoff tells us, have scored 13 straight points. They've outscored Philadelphia 17-2. As they've taken a 4-point lead. Here is Julius Erving. He gets the ball out to George McGinnis, who puts up a jump shot, rebound to Grevey. Ball game has turned right around. That's the time remaining in the first half.
Excellent screening job there by the Bullets. They blocked out very well on that play.
Dawkins way up over everybody, gets a second try that was missed by the Bullets, and here come the Philadelphia 76ers as Lloyd Free puts a move on Charles Johnson, lost the handle. Hayes gets the rebound. Knocked away by McGinnis. It'll come inbounds for Washington.
Philadelphia has been taking all outside jump shots, and it's evident that they haven't scored a point in the last 4 minutes and 24 seconds. They've got to stay taking that ball to the basket, drawing some fouls.
Very good, Keith. The simple fact is that they are shooting perimeter jump shots. It's taken away all their game.
That was Elvin Hayes who knocked down another. He's hit 7 in a row in this stretch. As the Bullets have rallied from behind and have taken a 54-48 lead, you see the first half coming to a close. 7 seconds to go as Lloyd Free moves to the basket. Throws the ball, and McGinnis throws it away.
There went the Gatorade and everything on that play.
Inbounds, Grevey fires it to Hayes. Who else? That'll probably go in. Nope, missed it all. Elvin finally missed one, but it took a 70-foot shot for him to miss. So the first half comes to an end, and what a first half it was, and we're going to have 2 more periods after a big halftime as Washington rallies from behind to take a 6-point halftime lead.
Was brought to you as a public service by the National Basketball Association. The NBA on CBS is sponsored by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer, and less. AC Delco, quality automotive parts for quality motoring. AC Delco. And by all the new 1978 Chevrolets, now at your Chevy dealers everywhere.
Back at Landover, Maryland with Keith Erickson and Gus Johnson. This is Don Crickey. We're set to go now for the start of the third period as the Washington Bullets ripping off 17 points. Philadelphia none down the closing stretch of the second period, and Washington rallies to take a 6-point lead. Billy Cunningham, Jack McMahon, and Chuck Daly, the council of the 76ers. They had a lot to say in the locker room, you can be sure, as at one point in the first half, the 76ers led by 9. Henderson starts out with the ball. Here is Kevin Grevey going to Elvin Hayes. He was the story. 21 points in the first half for the Dandridge. Julius Erving playing a little bit off, and now down low to Hayes, right back where they ended up. Doesn't go, and McGinnis takes the rebound, kicks it off to Erving, and Julius Erving at 6'7", takes it down the floor, feeds off to McGinnis. Back to Caldwell Jones. He should get the ball more, Gus.
Yes, I'll tell you, Caldwell is definitely an unsung hero. He's in the right place at the right time. George McGinnis made a very strong move hoop and gave him a very nice assist.
Kupchak fighting down low against McGinnis, trying to get position. Grevey out against Henry Bibby, has a big height advantage, and Grevey shoots over him. He's got the sweet shot.
When he's hitting it, he's red hot out there on that floor. He takes that shot. It looks like a bad shot, but it's his shot.
They led Kentucky to the NCAA Finals a few years ago against UCLA, and now right back the other way. The points go up. Those are the 13th and 14th points for Julius Erving, and it's 56-52 Washington. Keith?
There's that outside shot Gus was just talking about. Doesn't look like a good shot, and when it doesn't go in, it's not.
Right.
Here comes Collins driving to the basket. Rebound tipped over and down with the ball to Tom Henderson. Down the middle, he fills the lane, but didn't have enough on his shot, and Henry Bibby starts a track meet back the other way to Julius Erving. Lead pass goes to McGinnis. Lead pass goes right into Roney.
They're not playing very well organized basketball right now. They're coming down, they're taking bad shots. They don't seem to have any kind of cohesion together out there.
That was the problem. They had it all going, did the 76ers, and then it fell apart. The Bullets were spurred on by an awful lot of crowd, too.
One of the adjustments Billy Cunningham made at halftime, Caldwell Jones is out guarding Elvin Hayes now.
Very good point, Keith. I was going to bring that up. I think Elvin just has a red-hot hand, and George cannot do anything with him.
You believe no foul was called on that
At all.
Well, I tell you, Kupchak was run right over.
They've got a mismatch down here. They're finally trying to take advantage of it.
Julius Erving caught with a foul underneath, a good foul. He pushed Kupchak. If he didn't, Kupchak would have had the ball and gone up for a score.
George McGinnis going to do very strong here. Kupchak did not foul him. I think he was in good position. He didn't move or raise or anything. It looked as if there was a foul there.
And we're set to go as Henderson looks to inbound the ball for the Bullets. Gets it into Grevey. Bibby against him. Here's a big mismatch. Grevey's a 6'5", Bibby's a 6'1", and Grevey, who knocked down his last shot, can't get this one to go. Here comes Erving. Collins on the left flank along with McGinnis. Back to Erving inside the Collins with a foul.
Very nice execution there. Very nice.
A lot of people handle the ball.
Julius brings the balls down, gives it up to McGinnis. McGinnis gives it back to Collins, and Hayes draws a foul on him.
Elvin Hayes' third foul.
Big foul.
Could very well be. Elvin Hayes has been in foul trouble in this series, but has played very well in foul trouble.
Yeah, Friday night he played the whole third quarter with 4 fouls on him.
(56-52). Washington with a 4-point lead on the basketball with 9:35 to play in the third period. Elvin Hayes loops it down low to Kupchak. McGinnis against him. Kupchak has a height advantage, but McGinnis has got the strength, and Kupchak is body checked and can't get a good shot away. Erving up court to McGinnis. Elvin Hayes is back to defend.
They seem to be looking for George. Every time they've come down the floor with the basketball, somebody's giving him an outlet.
Good drive by Collins, but not quite enough on the shot. Here comes Henderson feeding off to Kupchak. Goaltending on Caldwell Jones.
Nice play by the Bullets coming down and passing that ball around. That's what they've got to do. They had an advantage by moving the ball around. They got it to the open man for the layup on the goaltending call.
What's happening out here also, Keith, is that if you notice, the 76ers are not getting back quick enough, plus they don't have any weak side help. The lane has been too open.
Let's see what they do now. Here's McGinnis. Elvin Hayes against him. McGinnis has to drop it off, gets the ball back, and gets it down.
Nice shot by Big George on that play.
He's playing super well. He's giving the ball up. Goodness.
Speaking of super well, look at that.
He's doing it all.
How about the Biggie? 23 points already. I'll tell you one thing that's hurting the 76ers right now. Doug Collins is having a terrible game out there. In the first half, he was 1 for 6. Came down, missed that layup, missed 2 free throws early in the game. I'm sure Billy Cunningham is going to try and work his offense around to get Doug Collins into this game.
Julius Erving slaps it down from a 15-foot range and makes it a 60-56 game. The 76ers back to it in 4. Henderson controlling the basketball. Collins against him. Collins is a dancer at 6'6". He can stay with you. A lot of fast, quick steps. Dandridge shoots. Rebound to Elvin Hayes. Why not?
Can't do anything wrong. There's a day on any given game when a player does it all, like Bobby Dandridge was Friday night. He couldn't do anything wrong. Big E is stroking it.
Big E is cooking. He has scored 25 points and has 11 rebounds. Julius Erving is going to go offense, and he's hacked by Dandridge.
Hayes here comes up with a very big rebound. Bobby Dandridge takes a shot out of the corner right here. Hits a ball. He goes back outside. And when you're hot, you know it. And he knows he's hot.
And you notice on that play, Gus, Philadelphia didn't have anybody going out to contest Elvin on that jump shot.
At all, Keith.
You can't give it to Elvin when he's feeling. You can't give it to anybody when they're feeling.
Right. There's a breakdown in communications out there.
Foul on the play. Elvin Hayes just got his 4th, so fouls begin to be a problem for both clubs as Elvin Hayes with 4 personal fouls in the 3rd period. McGinnis can't get it down. Julius Erving cannot. People fight for the ball, and Jake O'Donnell blows the whistle. Look in the game with Jim Capers, and he's got a full job. He's done a nice job with it.
They have done a very excellent job out here controlling the tempo of this basketball game. They're doing super.
Dandridge fouled Julius Erving, so Erving will shoot 2 free throws. Dandridge now has 2 personals. Now you see what the doctor has done. He gives you a whole lot more than point totals.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He creates so many different things out there.
Julius Erving now is the leading scorer for the 76ers. He has 18. George McGinnis has 17, and it drops way off. Dawkins is next with 7. Elvin Hayes looking to go offense. Pump faking. Man's unconscious.
He's got a guy 7 foot in his face. He makes one good move, gives him a fake, raises him a little bit, and he's hitting that jumper.
And then he puts his head down and runs to the defensive end. He plays both ends of the floor.
He has been doing that. He's been so intense during these playoffs that it's unreal, Don.
George McGinnis fires across the lane, lays it up. He now has 19, and the 76ers are back to within 4. Larry Wright's in the game. Speed matched up with speed. Lloyd Freeze against him. Dandridge comes out of the corner. Luke goes down low to who else? Elvin Hayes. Shoots over Caldwell Jones. McGinnis rebounds. Hayes calls for a foul, but there is no whistle, and the 76ers can come back to within 2.
That time, Caldwell Jones was open on the outside flank, but George McGinnis was dribbling with his head down.
They're giving McGinnis this shot in this series. Let him have the jump shot. Here's Kupchak. And Julius Erving takes it down. 3-on-3 break. Lead man is free. The bomb squatter gets the roll.
And boy, he can do it. If he gets a hot hand, like you mentioned earlier, Don, he can break you open, and if he's cold, he can break you down.
And all of a sudden, Keith, you've got a 2-point game.
Yes, indeed. Philadelphia is starting to hit that outside shot, but they're going to still, again, have to get that ball inside. Cannot rely on the outside shot against this Bullet team.
Well, I feel that they are doing it. That's how they close this gap now, is they're getting a little more penetration.
Yes.
A big hoop as Mitch Kupchak spins off, gets the shot. He was fouled on the play.
Mitch made a very good move inside. He gets the ball down inside and rolls to the hoop with it.
So it's 66-62, and Kupchak will be shooting. The Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland is rocking this Sunday afternoon as the Philadelphia 76ers have fallen behind after taking a 9-point first-half lead. At the moment, they're behind by 5 to the Washington Bullets, who are looking to go up 3 games to 1 in the series. And that boxing match next Saturday in the Sports Spectacular, Howard Davis has about the fastest hands that have come down the line since Willie Pep. Here comes Caldwell Jones. Rebound to Julius Erving, and whistles blow as people go down on the deck again. Got lots of guys in the canvas right here.
Can't get up. He can't get up. I think he's hurt. He can't get up.
Bob Dandridge shaken up. Somehow they managed to come back. They're taped up and strapped up and hurting. But it's all on the line now.
Very good move by Caldwell Jones. Hayes plays super defense, blocks the shot. Dr. J comes in and gets a rebound. You can see where Bobby D had him by the shoulder right there and pulled him down to the floor.
You never know what's going to happen. As Dick Mata, the coach of the Washington Bullets, says one thing that's consistent in the NBA is inconsistency. Last Sunday, his team was up by 4 with 9 seconds to play at Philadelphia. 76ers tied it. Washington had to go into overtime to win. One time this year, it's hard to believe, Milwaukee led the Chicago Bulls when that was a couple years ago when Mata was there as the head coach at Chicago. Milwaukee led by 8 points with 11 seconds to play. And then led by 6 with 10 seconds to play, and Milwaukee had the ball, and Chicago ended up winning by 10 in overtime. Both you gents have seen stranger things, haven't you, in your playing days?
Yes, we have.
So it's never out of reach, and certainly this isn't. It's a three-point game, 67-64, Washington. Grevey down low, they're doubling up on him, so he will not have that big advantage.
He's a workhorse. He's taking full advantage of the Mitch match with Bibby. The 76ers are going to have to make some kind of adjustment. Right now, Doug Collins is not in the game. Grevey's taking Bibby down and posting, which is very smart ball.
At halftime, a man came by here and said, although I thought it was Kevin Grevey's brother, it was his father. Looks just like him.
What about Joe Bryant? He's over there on that Philadelphia bench.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. But I don't think that Joe has the quickness to play Kevin. He's a 6'7", 6'8" guard.
Jelly Bean hasn't been in there yet, has he?
Nope.
70-64. Lloyd Freed fires it up, and the whistle blows inside as they contest for the rebound. A foul call is going to go against Washington.
Baseball foul was called on Joe Pace.
Joe Pace was called for it.
The penalty.
You know, on that shot by Lloyd Freed. Yes, we've been talking about Lloyd Freed getting you back into the game or taking you out of it. He came down one-on-one. All he had on his mind was shooting that outside shot to take a team out of the game.
Keith, plus also, whenever you got a guy like that comes down and plays one-on-one, you find the other 4 ball players tending to stand around because they know that he wants to make the move. He needs that lane area. Good point.
Larry Wright, who was a #1 draft choice after his junior year at Grambling. He's from the Washington, D.C. area. Larry Wright comes into the game. He brings the ball up quickly. Now here's Dandridge working as the Bullets have a 5-point lead. And now a whistle blows as everybody's bumping on each other. 3 seconds is the call against Pace.
Well, it goes back to the same thing. When you stand out there and you play with that basketball, you have people that are going to stand around. And in this situation, they were standing around and got called 3 seconds.
Coach Cunningham out, shouting instructions. Caldwell Jones coming out high. McGinnis takes a look as people break down low by the baseline. Caldwell Jones gets free and lost the handle. Pace grabs the ball. Almost threw it away, and Grevey takes it. Hard to believe Grevey's playing with a very painful injury. He was in a hospital for 5 hours yesterday being treated. Well, I'll tell you, if anybody's hurting, it's Philadelphia right now.
They are hurting.
And that's the same thing we were just talking about. Lloyd Freed coming down at one end and doing it. Kevin Grevey came back at the other, and the only difference, Grevey's went right through the bottom.
Right on, and that's the difference right there.
They don't sell the 76ers short. They are consummate professionals, and they can come back like a racehorse. But again, the ball comes back to the Washington Bullets, who now have their biggest advantage. A 7-point lead with 3:55 to play. Larry Wright goes to the basket. And the 76ers get a break. And then they lost the ball on a travel.
The way McGinnis is hustling out there, it seems like things are just going wrong for him. He's doing the things on the floor that he's supposed to be doing right now. And as long as George is penetrating, it makes his game tough.
Philadelphia has now turned the ball over 15 times. Washington with 10 turnovers. It is a great doubleheader game coming up following this one. We'll be switching to Denver for Game 2 of the Western Finals between the Denver Nuggets and the Seattle Supersonics. Denver leading 1-0 there. Elvin Hayes, as the cry E goes up from the crowd, but he can't get it. This is a charge. That could be a charge. They call it on Larry Wright.
This is a very good move right here. They bring the ball in the E. Bad shot by Elvin Hayes. Here, I think Larry Wright had excellent position on Lloyd Freed. They say you're supposed to give a man room enough to turn around. I feel that Freed should have been called for a charging foul.
I feel that way.
That's a pretty tough call to make. The official was on top of the play. You know, a judgment call like that, it can go either way.
A voice of reason comes in from UCLA. Now people are shifted in and out. Bob Dandridge goes out. Greg Ballard is in. Larry Wright working in the backcourt. Lloyd Free stays with him, trying to make him use that 24-second clock up, bringing the ball over. Down low, Joe Pace, Elvin Hayes, Greg Ballard, Grevey, and Larry Wright in the back line. Lloyd Free, Doug Collins, Caldwell Jones, Julius Erving, and Steve Nicks in the game for Philadelphia. 3:15 left to go in the third period. Charles on Grevey.
The annex that Kevin Grevey just went through after that foul was called didn't look like he had a very sore neck to me.
No, not at all. He's moving very well.
Yes,
he's playing with a sore neck. I would wish the other my teammates had sore necks.
I believe they could shoot like that.
Right
They better get
on.
sore necks, Philadelphia.
Here's a guy that can put it in for you, Julius Erving. He was fouled in the act of shooting. And Washington fans are very much against the gentleman officiating this game right now, as the calls have been going against the Bullets. We're going to have a break in the action with 2:58 to play in the third period, and Washington holding to a 5-point lead. There's that famed dog they have here.
Tiny the Bullet.
Julius Erving at the free throw line. The Doctor has now put in 21 points in this game as the 76ers trail by 4, 72-68, with 2:58 left to play in the third period. With Gus Johnson and Keith Erickson, this is Don Quickie at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland. This is Game 4 of the NBA Eastern Finals. They'll be going on to Denver for Game 2 of the Western Finals following this one, Seattle at Denver. Erving, always cool when the heat is on, now has 22 points, and the 76ers have rallied back to within 3. And Washington almost throws the ball away as Coach Cunningham is up gesticulating. Oh, my word.
He was pressured there, boy. He just did get it over that timeline in time.
Shot clock winding down. Julius Erving blocks the shot and is called for a foul. Boy, that's a tough call on Julius.
I'll tell you, we were down the screen now to play by the official right here, but I do think there was some body contact established before he made the move. Here it is right here, Bobby D. Right there, some body contact right there. Good block by Julius, though.
Well, we have Bob Dandridge at the free throw line now for the Washington Bullets, and he annexes their lead to 4, 73-69, 2:33 to play in the third period. Dandridge out of Norfolk State, you recall, played on the championship team at Milwaukee, and then came here in the offseason. Had a big year for the Washington Bullets, been very invaluable to them. Lloyd Free, dribbling in the backcourt, goes to Nicks, and back to Free as Erving posts down low. Collins in the game. Not much motion in the Philadelphia offense. Finally, they get the ball to Caldwell Jones, and Elvin Hayes gets the roll.
Caldwell Jones would have scored that basket. He hesitated on the move when he went under. He wanted to dunk it, and he couldn't make his move.
There's that movement, the ball movement of the Bullets again. Passing that ball around. Bob Dandridge, the open jump shot. They're knocking that shot down.
Just can't give a ball club that's got shooters like that those kind of opportunities.
Collins shoots, comes back and delivers for the 76ers. Only his third and fourth points of the game. Doug Collins.
They've got like 8 men in scoring. They've only got 2 men that have double figures.
Kupchak, the pivot man, looks for people cutting. Collins playing a lot of defense. Has not had the point production he'd like. He's a 20-point-a-game scorer. Dandridge loses Erving and pulls up for the jump shot, and Caldwell Jones sweeps it off. Doug Collins goes to Nicks. Too much on it.
When it's going bad for you, Don, sometimes it really goes bad. And these guys are really professionals. They're not just out here goofing around. These are things that just happen in the course of a game.
But let us not forget, it is a 4-point game, so Philadelphia's only 2 shots away from tying this one up. Right now, Washington has the ball, and Dandridge is looking to go offense against Julius Erving. He's been putting the ball up. Here's Larry Wright free. Jones has it, outlet, and they throw it away. 50 seconds, you see the third period clock. Dandridge with points.
Very big mental error by the 76ers.
Big one.
Coming down with a rebound, you can't throw that ball away. At this point in the game with only 45 seconds to go in the quarter, you can't give them another opportunity.
Nick shoots. And Steve Nick with a very collected shot. Here's a man loose. Grevey. Philadelphia was caught napping. They weren't back on defense.
Excellent move by Grevey. He went to the hoop very strong. He's a left-handed shooter. He changed hands, slid in for the layup.
But the big point is that Philadelphia didn't have anybody back. Steve Nicks can't be the only man back. He was looking the other way.
And a whistle stops play as Lloyd Freeze starts to go to the basket.
Here's a play down. There's nobody back. Mix is hustling, trying to get back here. Very good shot by Grevey here.
And he has 16, Kevin Grevey.
Turnovers have played a very important factor in this game right now. Philadelphia has turned the ball over 17 times already.
Philadelphia has a distinct advantage, though, Gus, at the free throw line. They've hit 21 of 28. Washington has only 11 of 17, so 76ers have outscored Washington by 10 from the free throw line, but they trail in the game by 5.
Good.
That's a tough play right there. Kevin Grevey taking the ball, knows there's only 5 seconds left in the quarter. He's going to force something to happen out here, and he did. Doug Collins was playing tight.
Here he comes down the court right here. He's got him beat, and he knows it. As Keith just mentioned, he knows how much time's left on that clock. He doesn't have to force it. He makes a strong move to the hoop, which is a smart move.
And Kevin Grevey throws down the free throws to give Washington a 7-point lead. You'll recall they led by 6 at the half, so they've upped the lead by 1. No basket. Mitch followed it in before, after the gun sounded, the buzzer went show. After 3 periods of play, the Washington Bullets, to a standing ovation, go to their bench leading 81 to 74. Billy Cunningham. He just told his team to run the same play, whatever that last one was. I forgot.
Yeah. They want to score, whoever it is, up this fourth quarter, and you can hear the fans here in Washington, tremendous fans.
And another thing, Keith, the fans they are playing a very important part in this basketball game. The noise, sometimes you can't hear what's going on the floor.
Very good point. These fans are tremendous.
They're really behind the Bullets here as the Bullets looking to take a 3-1 lead. We have 12 minutes to go as we open the fourth period. Collins can't hit. Grevey gets the current inside court. Here comes Wright. You give him an inch and he'll shoot through it like a scat back.
Mix and Kupchak throwing some elbows down there, coming around that pick.
Boy, did he get stuck. Kupchak really got stuck by Mix inside.
Yes, he did. Mix gave him an extra one as he went by to make sure that he knew it.
Third period statistics. Grevey was the hot man for the Bullets in the third period, hit 11 points. He has 18 for the game. The high man, of course, is Elvin Hayes with 27 points. Hayes is not in the game at the moment as Kupchak is out high. Dandridge looks to work against Erving. Dandridge not bashful against Erving.
Not bashful is not the word for it. That was some tremendous shot right there.
Excellent body control by these athletes.
And all of a sudden, the Bullets have their biggest lead, a 9-point advantage. 83 to 74. Julius Erving can't hit. Greg Ballard takes it down. Here comes Larry Wright. Erving takes it off, leads the break himself at 6-7 to Lloyd Free, who cruises to tip 2 points.
That's the first time I remember in quite a while, Gus, that they've taken the ball to the basket on the play. Julius took the outside shot a minute ago, cleared the floor for him, and he still took the outside shot.
Look at that play by Dandridge. Guys went up like they were on pogo sticks with that fake.
What a tremendous move by Bob Dandridge. Got both Caldwell Jones and Julius Erving about 2 feet above the basket. Waited till they were up there and put it in nice and easy. Here's that play again. Watch Dandridge Erving overplaying him on the side. Watch him halt now. Give the fake. And both of them way up above the room. Dandridge nice and nobody there. Then after the two of them went by.
Very poised. You got two men like that with the leaping ability that they have, and you can come in and get them in the air.
Larry Wright wants a jump ball, but Lloyd Free is going to get a free throw.
19,000 people in here want a jump ball too.
19,000 plus me.
The 19,000 officials. There's Phil Chenier, a starting backcourt player for the Bullets, who's been out most of the season with a back injury. Good pal of yours. How's he doing now, Gus?
He's doing fine. Phil's thinking about going to Canada and have a lady over there do some things with him with papaya juice.
You know, you never like to see an injury like that. But the injury to Phil Chenier could have been a blessing in disguise for this Washington team. Kevin Grevey has come in and done a tremendous job and never would have gotten the playing time if Phil Chenier hadn't been injured.
Very good point.
Oh, Mix and Dandridge really going at it, vying for position down low.
Dandridge fades away. There's a foul on Mix with the shot. Bullets, boy, they're supremely confident. They're just out there smiling. And
they were really whumping each other down low before trying to get position down here. Here you'll see him into your camera. Watch Mix and Dandridge fighting for position. Now look at Mix putting all 220 pounds on him to get him outside. And then what happens? They come inside and there's a little tiny bit of contact on the shot and the foul is called.
Right, and plus, watch Bobby Dandridge. He is so poised out there. When he gets in that area, he knows he can beat you. He feels confident he can beat you.
And now, Dick Mata has put about as much backcourt speed as you can get in any two-man alliance in the league. And he has Larry Wright in with Charlie Johnson. They get the ball. It's going to be a full 9-100 down the floor. More hitting and more fouls.
Steve Mix is really tough with that ball inside. Again, Bob Dandridge let him get good position, gives a couple of fakes, got him up a little bit. I felt that Steve Mix charged Bob Dandridge, taking that ball to the basket.
I think he did.
Jake O'Donnell didn't feel that way, and that's the important thing.
That's the one that counts.
Elvin Hayes comes back in. Look, certainly it should be pointed out again, these officials have done a big job. These games are awfully tough to keep under control, and they've done that. They've kept the game under control. This thing could erupt. 87-79. 9:48 to play. And so, an 8-point lead for the Washington Bullets as they hurry the ball up the floor. Here's Charlie Johnson firing from 20 feet away. He believes. He believes he can do it.
He's one of those guys that you don't ever, if you're playing against him, you don't want to see him get hot. He can get 10, 12, 15 points in a row quickly.
He came here on a 10-day trial, made the club, and he's been a big factor in the Bullets' late season drive. Ballard gives up to Johnson. He believes. But he is denied on that one. 1 for 2 from the long distance. Here comes Lloyd Free back the other way. He too believes. He'll fire it up from the locker room. Tapped up and in by McGinnis. 22 for George McGinnis. 22 for Julius Erving. 27.
Here's that play a second ago. Now keep your eye on Elvin Hayes and George McGinnis. You can't see them at the bottom of your screen. You saw their hands there. They're really going at it inside, trying to get position.
Right back down again as Larry Wright goes to the basket.
Boy, is he quick, Gus, taking that ball down there.
I'm telling you, just like Don mentioned earlier, if you give him an inch, he'll take 3 miles from you.
Doug Collins is an awfully quick, good defensive player. Larry Wright just blew right by him. Look at this. The officials called the foul outside a little bit, not taking the ball to the basket.
I think they forgot about the continuation.
I think they did, and how quick Larry Wright is.
Right.
The Bullets wearing the black mourning patch on a sleeve of their jerseys in memory of their public relations director, Mark Splaver, who passed away this past week. One of the really nice people you meet in sports and one of the best at his job. A very unfortunate happening. And Mark, we lost Mark this week, but the Bullets are thinking about Mark and his memory, and they are playing a great team basketball as they came into this as a decided underdog, and now they are 8:24 away from going up 3-1. Collins turns and fires.
Very good move by them. They moved the ball around, they took patience, but the Bullets still have them forced out of their area. They have to take jump shots. They're collapsing in the middle so they can't penetrate.
He's only 3 for 10 though, Doug Collins does.
just as Kevin Grevey was taking advantage of the height advantage at one end. Doug Collins now has the advantage over Charlie Johnson and Larry Wright at the other end. I'm sure we're going to see Billy trying to post him up down low.
7:50 left to play in the game. Collins loses the ball to Johnson. Look at that pass to Wright. These guys are great.
It's unreal. I can't believe this basketball game. They're doing everything well.
Well, I don't know if the decibel counters here, but it's unbelievable. 95-85 Washington.
There's that play. We were just talking about Doug Collins trying to post up the smaller men down here. Here's one of the advantages that the smaller men have. Watch the quickness of Charlie Johnson stealing that ball. A beautiful outlet pass to Larry Wright and a slam dunk that brought the house down.
Now back to live action. Doug Collins drills it from 15 feet out to bring the 76ers back to within 8:95-87. 7:20 to play in the game.
Larry Wright has been talking about dunking one all year long. I spoke to him earlier this afternoon. He's got his dunk.
Mitch Kupchak comes back down. At 6'10", he glides up and again gives Washington the 10-point advantage.
You know, this feeling is contagious out here, Don. When one player gets that hot hand, it's contagious to the other players. Mitch Kupchak, that's not his shot, but he just knocked it down like it was.
The rebound is taken down by Ballard. Look at the play to Wright. Kicked it inside so hard, but Ballard could not hold on. I'll tell you, I like this Charlie Johnson when the pressure's on, too.
There's some duo in that backcourt. Larry Wright, Charlie Johnson doing a tremendous job leading this fast breakout here with this Washington team.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, Charlie's been here before, so he knows what it's about. He knows what's expected and what he's got to do.
We have 6:40 to play in the game as Julius Erving. The 76ers need him so badly now, and he delivers as Erving pops one and brings the 76ers back to within 8. 6.5 to go now in the fourth period. This is game 4 of the NBA Eastern Finals, and Washington will have command if they can hold on to this lead. Kupchak drives in, gets the offensive board, and puts it down. And again, they're up and cheering.
Tremendous hustle in there by Kupchak. They're getting the second, third shots, as Keith mentioned earlier, and that's what's paying off for him right now.
Kupchak now has 17 points. Grevey has 18. Dandridge has 19, and the Big E has 29. Elvin Hayes.
Let's see that play, that previous play. Here's Charlie Johnson bringing it down. Watch this beautiful drive and this reverse layup. That would have brought the house down if that one would have gone in. But watch Mitch Kupchak on the offensive boards coming over Caldwell Jones. Watch the strength he has to put that ball inside again. Tremendous. Mitch Kupchak keep going after that ball. He wasn't going to let that one get away.
Very good hustle.
Johnson fires up a shot, and the rebound is down to the 76ers. And here comes Lloyd, free to the basket, kicks it off to Steve Mix. Bang, 10-point lead. Or an 8-point lead now, 99-91. Kupchak 7 for 11 in this game for the Bullets with 17 points. Fouls on Lloyd free. And the penalty is now in effect for the Washington free throw shooters with 5:36 to go.
That's really a big point, Don. You know, that's just really a bad foul by Lloyd Free. If they're going to be in the penalty situation, you can't come out and get anywhere near having contact like that, knocking a man down. There are only 5:36 to go in this game. That's a lot of time left to have a team in the penalty situation.
Keith, at the same time, I agree with what you're saying, but that's a breakdown in communication by the 76ers. There's nobody talking. Everybody seems to be in their own little bag right now. They're going different directions.
Yeah, you're right. You make a good point. It just looked to me like Lloyd Free just went ahead, ran right into him anyway.
So now it is a 10-point advantage again for the Bullets. Lloyd Free, he's angry, looking to get those points back he gave up with a foul. Julius Erving looks for the baseline. Shut out by Dandridge, doubled up by Kupchak. But Erving can go through 5 men. Kupchak takes it down. They're getting an overmatch on the break, Washington. They're getting people free. Johnson pulls up. Elvin Hayes. What a play by Elvin Hayes going inside. Nobody blocked him off. He had plenty
plenty of time to get that ball on the second effort and put that shot in.
Larry Wright. A very good foul by Steve Mix. He just enveloped it.
Let's see that play again where Elvin Hayes
Sixers want a timeout.
Charlie Johnson taking a beautiful jump shot here. Look at Elvin Hayes at the bottom of your screen. The inside position, nobody contested him on that play. You can't give that to these Bullets. They're running you right out of the game.
Well, we have a timeout with Washington leading by 12. George McGinnis on the Philadelphia bench is not at all happy with the score or the fact that he's not in the game, I think. Here.
Well, that's right. During that last timeout, as Billy Cunningham was down talking to his players, the guys who were on that bench weren't even paying any attention. They were acting like they were mad because they weren't in the game, and it wasn't just George, it was all of them on that bench. They weren't involved in pulling for their teammates like they should be, and that's the sign of the difference between a team and a team that's just got individuals in it.
No unity whatsoever there.
Well, right now, the scoreboard has little unity either. There's a big disparity in the numbers, 105-91. Washington is in the lead with 4:43 left to play as Julius Erving fires out to Caldwell Jones. He's helped him when he's taken his shots.
You know something? I honestly and truly believe that they have to get Caldwell Jones into their offense more. They depend on 3 men to do the bulk of their scoring out there.
The Big E, the cry goes up, but he dumps it off. Julius rejects it, but there's a foul on the play. And Philadelphia is very openly a frustrated assemblage of basketball players right now. Their season, which was to be a championship season in all the projections, has at this point fallen apart. They are close to going down 3-1. The team they were favored to beat with relative ease, I think.
Yes.
Everybody felt so going in, except for this Washington Bullet team.
Yeah, they've been very confident about the playoffs. They feel that they can win. They feel they can beat anybody. And if you look out here on the floor, you can tell that the 76ers are upset because each and every one of them has had some complaint to the official.
Now we have Dandridge with 21 points for Washington. Elvin Hayes has 31. Kupchak has 17. Grevey has 18. Johnson came off the bench to score 10. Collins fires. Elvin Hayes takes it down. And the clock shows 4:05 to play as Dick Mata gets up and signals the roll offense. Get that motion in the offense. And people start to move off the ball, away from the ball, as Dandridge goes one-on-one with Julius Erving. Larry Wright takes a look. Dandridge throws it. It's going to be awful tough for Philadelphia to come back now.
As we were saying before, Don, when you get that feeling that Elvin Hayes had, and it's contagious, Bob Dandridge throwing a hook shot from outside the lane. That's beautiful.
You can count the times that he shoots hooks.
That's right.
Elvin Hayes isn't going near a defensive man. He's staying right on the board the whole time. He's going to concede anything outside, anything from 10 or 12 feet. He wants the rebounds. And he's
Watch this play again. The shot goes up from the outside. Now watch Lloyd Free come around. There's another tip. Tip again and again. Now watch Lloyd Free. When he goes into the air, watch him go into the air and throw his legs out down below. That's where he picks up the offensive foul sometimes. Not the offense, but picks up the foul. The man is trying to go after the ball and he hits his legs down low.
That's an excellent call there too, Keith, because there was another ball player that used to do that when I played in this league. Elgin Bailey was the greatest. He used to shoot his jumper and he would spread his hands out, and if you slapped him, it was a foul.
Elgin could do it, couldn't he?
He could do it all. Oh my God.
Here comes Lloyd Free. And Lloyd Free, coming in to try to slam dunk it over people a lot taller, does draw the shooting foul.
Well, Philadelphia doing what they've got to do now. They brought Joe Bryant into the game. Henry Bibby's back in. They've got their pressing team in there now. They're going to be double teaming, pressing all over the floor, trying to create some mistakes like they just did. Lloyd Free stole the ball, took it to the basket.
Keith, I feel that that's a good point there, but the simple fact is that I think that they have left Bibby on the bench much too long because he is the floor general on that basketball floor. He does so many things well, and they depend on him in tough situations.
And they are indeed pressing the ball, as you mentioned, Keith. They had the whole team in. Joe Bryant, they forced a turnover.
That's twice the Bullets have not been able to get the ball over half court.
Not even over half court, not even out of that corner down there.
Excellent.
109-97 from a 16-point disadvantage. They're down by 12 now, the 76ers. Free, a wild and crazy shot.
It's a one-on-one game after they get the ball.
And back the other way. Let's see if Lloyd Free gives it off. Bibby throws it up as you see the game clock superimposed, and that pretty much illustrates how it's gone for the Philadelphia 76ers. The bounces have gone back over the top of the board the other way.
These guys are pros, though, Don. I honestly and truly feel that they will regroup. They have to go home and go back to their school book, go back to their fundamental basketball, go back to the sound things that will make them effective.
That's right. They played a brilliant team game beating the Knicks. They have to get back to that, but Washington's defense has a lot to do with it. Larry Wright hits a big shot, and it's 111-97 Washington. See the ice pack on Kevin Grevey's sore neck. Got it right to Elvin Hayes. They're still looking to put up points. Boy, Washington's playing a beautifully controlled game. They're running when they should run. They're making the transition. Elvin Hayes has 17 rebounds in this game.
Well, Philly more or less played themselves in this hole that they're in right now by the selections of their shots.
Driving inside is Charles Johnson. Elvin Hayes tapped it in.
Elvin's having some tremendous afternoon out here.
I mean, he is cleaning up. 33 points, 17 rebounds. Joe Bryant gets a couple of points for Philadelphia, but they need a lot of points, and they need them quickly as time is a factor. 1:53 to play. It goes to Dandridge. Larry Wright goes to the hoop. Inside to Kupchak. Out to Elvin, and they're going to play the clock down.
Good, smart basketball. There's no reason to hurry the shot here.
Well, I tell you, they have dissected Philadelphia in this particular sequence.
In the sight game, I think the Bullets are 3 up.
Can you believe that?
No, they had 3 offensive shots, and they were all layups and couldn't hit it.
This one is over. We got a minute and 20 to go, but in Washington, they know they haven't won, and 19,000 people are up and cheering as Steve Nicks throws up too little too late. 117 to 101. Dandridge is wide open. Elvin Hayes, but Kupchak gets the offensive board.
This Philadelphia team has thrown it in, it looks like, doesn't it?
They just quit, I think.
Bill Cunningham looking on. There's little he can do, little his 76ers can do, the ones that are on the playing floor. Seattle and Denver is next as the Big E slams down his 34th and 35th points of the game.
He's did everything that any one ball club or any organization could ask for a man this afternoon. He's played superb basketball.
Well, we don't even have to take a poll who our MVP is. The Big E. And the University of Houston is the beneficiary of a $1,000 Chevrolet scholarship. As Elvin Hayes gets the MVP award for his brilliant show. As Washington leads 119 to 103. Dandridge takes a look. Free shot. Thank you very much. Why not?
Right, why not?
Want to be sure and thank our producer, Chuck Milton, our director, Sandy Grossman, for their excellent work as the Philadelphia 76ers try to get some points. Joe Bryant put something in, but it was over in truth long ago as the Washington Bullets go up 3 games to 1 with the series heading back to Philadelphia for Game 5. It is over. Nick Mata comes off the playing floor. For the final score here at Landover, Maryland, the Bullets 121, the Sixers 105.